I want to share with you a funny trick to create mindfulness. And mindfulness or present moment awareness is basically the root of all teachings of self-improvement, spirituality, all of that kind of stuff. The root of it all, the core teachings that you find over and over again, is to be aware of the present moment, to be present. Because that's where all change happens, and that is the only place where you'll be completely fulfilled, happy, and at peace. Because if you're living in the past or the future, that's when you succumb to fears and things like that. If you're living too much in the past, you have resentment, grief, that kind of stuff, regret. And if you're living in the future, you're anxious, worried, overthinking, that kind of stuff. Of course, we can use the future to plan when we need it, and we can use the past to learn from, but the problem comes when you live there instead of the present moment, instead of being in the present moment and going to those places when the situation requires it. So I don't want to go too much into that, but we all know that being present is our place of power, and that's where we feel the best, and that's where we're most aware as well. So our intelligence is at its peak in the present moment because we're able to be mindful and observe the world around us and then act out of that intense awareness. And that is a deeper intelligence. It's that spontaneous intelligence that adapts and is dynamic. So that is a good place to be, and we all know that. And things get really squirrely once you start projecting into the future. I was just doing this. I went on thinking about the future, what's happening with humanity, blah, blah, blah. And that gets you anxious and worried, and you get all worked up. And then I brought myself back to the present moment just by doing this weird, simple, funny trick, which is to narrate what you're doing. So what I'll do is I'm picking up the cup to drink water. I'm drinking water. I'm walking over there. I'm doing the dishes right now. I'm recording a video right now. So narrate your life. Narrate what you're doing in the present moment. You don't have to do it for that long, but just do it enough so that it creates that mindfulness, oh yeah, I'm here. I'm here in the now. This is what's real. This is what I'm experiencing. This is what I have to deal with. This is the present moment that I have the power to act within. This is the place from which I act. So it creates that mindfulness. So if you find yourself marinating on the past or overthinking or worried or anxious about the future, start narrating what you're doing right now, and it creates that sense of mindfulness. Because mindfulness, present moment awareness, is the root of all spiritual teachings. It's the root of all change. If you're not mindful of what you're doing, what are you doing? You could be living your whole life in delusion and on autopilot if you're not even aware of what you're doing in the moment. And it will never be fulfilling, because if you're not in the moment, if you're not truly immersed in the moment, you're always chasing this illusory pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that you never get to. Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow is always tomorrow. So it's I'll be happy when that happens, but I'll be happy tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes, so you'll never be happy until you get into the present moment. So that's what it's all about. There's books about this, The Power of Now, all about being in the present moment. That's how powerful it is. So do that little trick. Narrate your life to bring you back to the present moment, to become mindful of what you're doing. Because that's the core of everything. Mindfulness of the present moment, it's the core. It's the leverage point for everything. Seriously. All right, peace, peace. Much love, and one love, baby.